I guess you want to talk about the counts. So I'll give it to you this time.
Of course, of
I'll talk
course.
about the coast. Fine.
I can't wait, man. I think, isn't this the first time we see the counts in the tournament so far?
Oh, we saw this exact same matchup.
Oh yeah, that's true. Last week there was this matchup as well. I kind of
When we
blocked
talked
it from
about
my
that
mind.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah. Alright, so Tank with an army. I've actually seen him bring before in this matchup. Maybe this is exactly the army Random Nix was referring to as well. 2 Black Knights, classic bats. There's a core of 3 bats. A Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Let's see what he's bringing. Of course, he's bringing the Helm of Discord, great against the blobs. Raise that. Van El's Dance Kebab. Invocation of the Heck. Dragon Breath. Hunger. And the Curse of Undeath. On foot, there is a tank special. The White Kings with the Scab Scrat. He likes to use a lot across different matchups, at least from my observation. And then something you might not expect as much, which is these triple Crypt Horrors, which are of course kind of vulnerable to guns and stuff, but can definitely beat down some of the bigger monsters and crabs, stuff like that. And of course any of the infantry as well. I would say they probably even do decently against Sirens. Then the infantry is just the cheap skeleton spearmen mixed in some zombies. I believe that is all the units. Oh no, there's one critical piece remaining. A unit that is going to have to generate a lot of value, and which Tank is quite good at microing as well. The Black Coach. Ghost.
I've just seen Gobbo say in the chat, time for a monthly Coast v Counts face-off, Tank. So maybe they've done this one before.
Probably.
Looks like Gobbo was serious when he was asking about deckhand mobs because he has a lot. He has 5 pole arms at the back, then he has 4 regular deckhands at the front. On
Yep,
top
that's
of that,
fine.
2 with pistols and 2 with bombs. And apart from that, his army is very similar to what Antisti brought last week. So he's got Luther, he's got a Vampire Fleet Captain with Deep, Lord of Deeps, who's got Spiteful Shot, but also the Crab Summon. He's got the Fleet Captain Vampires, of course, with Nahek and the Drowned Dead. And then, of course, the Gallows Giant, which does such a good job against most things on the VC roster, really.
Yeah, I like the build. Enough stuff to hold the line, enough ranged, make a difference. Bat's going for... Is that a bat cycle charge that we're seeing here?
Well, they do have a mighty charge bonus of 6, so...
Yeah.
I think they're hoping that the Gallows Giant is going to roast all of the Coast Zone units.
Oh, is it doing friendly fire? No, it looks like it actually was very accurate at taking out those bats. Just minus 350 gold there.
Leadership debuff there is what kills it.
Yeah. Leadership of the bats as mighty as their charge bonus. And they're pretty dead, but of course it's just one bat. Main engagement is about to start, and let's look out for the Scab Scrats. I believe one just hit the gunnery mobs and the deckhand mobs. That was a good cast.
Yeah. There's nothing with huge value, of course, though.
Nope.
It's still well worth the item, obviously. Oh, one White King's about to go down.
Yeah, Luther just going ham on this guy. Breath, charge, pistol shot.
Hornswoggle. And
he could have used that as well. Maybe he's keeping it for when the Blood Dragon comes for him, which will probably happen at some point. Blood Dragon now going for the Gallows Giant.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Probably going to support himself with a summon here quite soon.
Oh, he's taking some damage, that Blood Dragon.
Yeah, right now it looks like the Coast is actually getting the better engagements. But the Vampire counts, they still have their Black Coach, it needs to start moving though, they still have some bats on the side.
Tried to summon Crab to trap Blood Dragon, but it didn't work. So
that was a big magic investment, and look who's ready to jump on those crabs, it's the Crypt Horrors.
But they don't really need to, do they? I mean, I know it's a great matchup for them, but
Not necessarily, but you know, maybe he has a different plan in mind. Like he wants to re-engage with his Blood Dragon and he wants the crabs occupied. I'm not sure.
Black Coach taking some
Black
nice
Coach is
damage
getting
there.
getting hunted down. And I just feel like the counts are losing a lot of.
This is the moment where VC is supposed to win it with the Helm of Discord, but
Oh, that you see that hit? That was such a huge hit.
Ooh, that was.
And another one. Upgraded Invocation, trying to keep Luther in the fight, and he is going to get away, as he does. Yeah, it's still damage that might become relevant in the end.
Looks like the coach managed to get some good damage whilst he was debuffed by Helm of Discord and the Heart Render, whatever it's called.
Yeah. And the coach currently has 2 of its buffs active. If it can just stay in melee a little while longer, it's going to get even more.
I think Luther needs to get onto the ground.
At his current health and with the taunt active, I think he can actually fight this Blood Dragon because... Oh, here comes an invocation.
Yeah, you're right.
Basically, it's a game of chicken. Whoever lands first is dead, most likely. But imagine if these bats that are on the side here, just chilling, were supporting that fight. The Blood Dragon would have a pretty easy time winning with their support.
Oh, you can't really run from Luther.
No, he's just gonna shoot you in the back the whole time. Maybe Tank feels like he's winning the fight on the ground.
I think he's waiting for Helm of Discord and his other abilities come off cooldown. And the bats are coming in.
Yes, now the bats are coming in. And with the help of the bats, he should be able to take the fight again.
Now Luther needs to get out of there.
Yes. Blood Dragon needs to get back in. Okay, actually trying to path around Luther. Try and...
I think he should jump Luther onto the Black Coach, maybe, where he's got his 2 heroes.
On the one hand, yes. On the other one, you're still going to take a charge and probably like 2 or 3 hits if you do that.
You can use Hornswoggles and Taunts, though. And I do feel like the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is more important. See, now he's doing it. He just needs to get his other hero in. And maybe they can
but here's Helm of Discord, but this is this awkward charge where you kind of turn around in the air, and that's not what you want to see in this situation.
There's no Taunt or Hornswoggle.
There is a Hornswoggle now. Still.
Right. Because if they both kill each other, I think it leaves the coast in a much better position.
Yeah, but right now it looks like Luther is going down first. Some Cryptors coming around.
Yeah. That's the saying that Gallows Giant needs to come in, and the Deep Caster needs to go in as well.
It looks like Tank might be pulling ahead here, but it looks like he also might be losing his Blood Dragon.
Both are gonna die. I think both are gonna... Well, maybe not. He got a good hack.
Dance Kebab comes in to get out of there. No, he keeps fighting, man. I would have pulled out at this point. Try to run with a summon. There is actually a summon. Yeah, he's going for that kill. He feels like he needs it, and he might be right.
Ooh,
and Luther is dead. What a fight.
And he can't do that.
What a fight. Luther dead. Is that the end of the coast? I don't see a lot of red on the field.
The edge now. He needs to... Yeah, he needs to summon. Like Gallows Giant, like I was saying, it's got isolated away from everything else. I think it's over. I think you're right.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm surprised the Gallows Giant didn't do better. But yeah, this really came down to the Lord duel, which went quite back and forth. And yeah, I think Tank making the better choices, although it's hard to say Gobbo Slayer really made big mistakes with Luther. Maybe the first fight under the Helm of Discord cost him too much HP.
I think it's also he didn't fight with all of his assets together. That second fight, the Gallows Giant wasn't there, but the Crypt Horrors were. And the Deeps Caster wasn't there for the whole of the fight either.
Yeah, so game fortunately crashed again, but we did see the end result there. I'm gonna launch again. That's our second crash today. Man, this game is so unstable in multiplayer, unfortunately. But at least it didn't crash during the game. I'll ask the players to rehost and we'll get back for the second match.
Just for you.
You were kind of cutting out there, Satsuma. What did you say?
I think my game hasn't crashed. I think I'm not sure the players have crashed either. It might just be you who's crashed.
I'll just rejoin then. Okay, let's go back in. Yeah, the first time we all crashed, so I thought it happened again, because this was exactly the same crash. I mean, maybe the lobby is bugged, but if it is, we'll notice, because then the game won't start. Okay, we're back. Get it. Would have played out a lot different if I had not used Crabos there. Yeah, that's actually something we didn't comment on, but the crab trying to catch the blood dragon and then not doing it, that was such a big investment that didn't pay off.
Yeah, that was a big issue. I think the real problem is they didn't the coast didn't blob hard enough. They got into these little separate fights where they didn't have all of their single entities fighting at the same time.
And it's usually the analysis when vampire counts manage to win something, right? The opponent didn't blob hard enough. Yeah, Gobbo Slayer saying it screwed up my Winds of Magic. I think that's actually, you know, kind of something you expect, or I expect, when you see those double casters. With one of them with a pretty expensive spell. You can pour all your magic into Nehek and raise that. It feels really awkward to have like a secondary caster with crap.
So expensive, yeah.
I mean, the casters are not terrible fighters by any means, so it's not a complete waste. And the Spiteful Shot can definitely be useful against Banshees, which weren't there, but you know, have it as a safeguard. But yeah, it's so hard to get enough magic out. But I guess the other, you know, argument for it is that vampire counts might snipe one of your casters, so you go for two of them.
Yeah, I get that.
It definitely wasn't a bad build. It was really well done by Tank. Black Coach Micro. There were some units that were kind of thrown away early, I would say, or lagging behind a little bit, but the whole picture, and the most important thing, which was the Lord Micro, was top notch.
I agree. Tank played it very well.
Tank picking the Norskins and the High Elves. Again, a combination I like. Gobbo Slayer answers with Lizardman. Tank responds with Norska.
What are your thoughts there?
Well, Norska is really strong against anyone except Ghost, but Lizardman is definitely one of the better factions against them. And I think if you have well, the choice between Norska and High Elves, but Norska might be better against the Lizardman. Although the High Elves can do very fine as well. Tank, I think, more comfortable with Norska than High Elves, so the pick makes sense.
Yeah.
I think what helps the Lizardmen a little bit is that they have one of the few infantry units that's like in the price range where it's not too bad if the pendulum hits it. It has high health and it's still good against berserkers. But you could get surprised by Marauder champions, which are actually really good against Saurus, thanks to their high melee defense. I mean, we end up saying this a lot. Kind of feels like a cheap getaway. talk about a matchup, but it's very build dependent. Like, it's often what it comes down to.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose Norska is one of the factions that has tools to stop Lisbon Dino crushing the champions. There's a lot of factions where taking elite infantry against Lisbon feels really bad because one Stegodon can cycle charge most of them to death.
Yeah, but usually those units are brought with the javelins. So basically, like if you face Croxigors, then the javelins will take them down. If you face a monster going through your Marauder champions, the javelins take them down. While
Norska has good options there.
yes,
you could even do it with your own monstrous infantry.
Yeah, potentially. Well, I like this matchup. Chosen One in the chat is saying it's like 55, 45 at most for Lizardman. And pointing out something I was, also saying, the Saurus at least won't get insta-nuked by Seafang. If you compare the damage Saurus take from Seafang, the damage Silverin Guard, for example, take, Silverin Guard just get wrecked even with 30% magic resistance. Whereas Saurus, thanks to their formation and high health, I'm not saying it's good when they get hit by Seafang, but it's not as bad as it is for a lot of other units.
They also have great leadership.
Yes, 75 basic unit. Well, not a basic unit, like a mid-tier infantry. Quite good. Tank pushing for the rematch against Astolfo or Gobbo Slayer on his last life here, hanging on in the group. Tank asking about his build, whether it's legal. Maybe I should show the chat, ask them if it's legal. It's fine. Okay, there we go. Guns are always the way, friend, says Anticity. America, fuck yeah. Okay.
So we've got around 50 viewers again.
Yeah,
So
pretty good.
As last week.
Pretty good. So, Norska or Lizards, Satsuma?
I'll chat Norska. Why not?
Okay.
It's interesting builds. You were talking about javelins. We've got hunters instead, which you don't see too often. But if there's one matchup where they make sense, it's got to be hunting big dinos, right? So there's 4 of those. Then he's also got 4 Marauder Horse Masters. So quite a lot of ranged power. And I think the Horse Masters are pretty decent AP values. Let's just check. Yeah, 36. Yeah, 18 base damage, 8 AP, which is not bad at all. Then also got a Norscan Warhound and a Beast of Tashnar. You have a front line of just basic Marauders all the way, 5 of those. You have Wulfric, not on his Mammoth, he's actually on his Chariot, which feels pretty rogue, but nice to see. And you've also got the Sorcerer of Metal, again on a Chariot. So very similar, the same magic choice as against Bretonia. And again, it makes sense against Lizards. Lizards are another faction that do have a tendency to blob slightly. Anything else? And there's also one Norscan Ice Wolf, which, yeah, it's nice. Chase things off, do damage as well. I don't think it can... Oh, they're not Chameleon Skinks. It wouldn't be able to catch things like Chameleon Skinks too well, but...
Nothing really can.
Yeah, I guess if they actually get into combat, they slow them.
Yeah, but usually there's multiple of them together and it's just...
Yeah, they're in guard mode, so like you chew 4 of them and then the rest blow.
While getting poisoned and losing a more expensive unit. horrible unit to deal with. And we actually have a few chameleons here. So
Aren't they
there's, oh
normal?
no, they're regular skink skirmishers. Well, I guess it makes sense because you don't really need the missile resistance. Yes, exactly. They're supported by Pterodon Riders and Pahawk's Sentinels. There is one Feral Carnosaur, a Slan Mage Priest of Life, bringing a lot of stuff. We're seeing a Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, or of Quetzal, Regrowth, Flesh to Stone, which is pretty cool. See that a lot. And Earthblood. Of course, he also can buff his units with Cold-Blooded and is a greater Arcane Conduit. And there's a 2 Bastiladon Solar Engines, which I feel are a real carry unit for the Lizardmen. The infantry consists of 2 Temple Guard, Saurus Spear, and then in the back 1 Skink Horde with Javelins. Yeah, the battle is already underway. What's happening, Satsuma?
Well, the horse masters are collapsing on the skink skirmishers, and they are not running away. They're just taking it. They're taking that beating. They're taking a real beating.
That bombardment, though. The horse masters, 2 of them getting hit by a bombardment.
Yeah,
Now getting
the Solar
terrified.
Engines are doing some nice work.
Oh yeah.
Actually, maybe with the Feral Carnosaur and the Pterodons.
Yeah, and look where the engagement is taking place and where part of the Norscan army is.
That's the big thing to comment on. If you're going to deploy that wide, you need to be a little bit further back usually, so that if someone's on one side.
Oh, the Carnosaur though. Good Cold-Blooded to stop that rampage, because otherwise he would have been pretty dead already. Yeah, so Gobbo Slayer with the better trades early on, I would say, although both sides took a beating. Tank took it on more expensive units, I would say. Verdon's taking some fire. And yeah, looks like Tank
Be much more cautious.
is forgetting his Warhounds. Lost. Are they moving now? No. Last game he kind of forgot his bats for a little while there, but seemed to be on point. And now the Warhounds are moving. Here we go. Rather Horse Masters taking consistent fire from the Solar Engines. Now the Norskins have regrouped and are pushing in.
It feels bad that some of the units are just now getting into range.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a side effect of having a really big infantry-based army. What do you think of the Lizardmen retreating onto the low ground, Satsuma?
Oh, I hate it. Unless he retreats all the way back.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if he pulls all the way back to where it's flat. But if he takes a charge where he is at the moment, I would not be happy.
Do you think he can out-sustain the fire from these Marauder Hunters?
I think he's trying to kill the hunters with the skink skirmishers, which is the right move. I don't think he can just survive it if they dump all their ammo.
Right now it looks like Tank, after reacting very aggressively at the start there, is redeploying his battle lines before pushing in again. He is of course under pressure. Solar Engines, which are no joke.
Yep. Now the Hound's getting onto the skink skirmishers, which... Ooh.
They're second guessing themselves.
Yeah, I think they could have done some damage there.
Now going back in again. It is a little bit of indecisiveness, it seems, from Tank. Might cost him this unit.
Now they can head. Now they can go. Now you... No, 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 no.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Well, at least getting routed. Feels like Tank is just, you know, kind of trickling in units. Also losing them. But as I'm saying that, he does get some good hits in though. Like on the flank here, the skink skirmishers are now probably going to get finished off. They're only 400 golds.
They've been pretty good bait.
Yeah. Right,
And now
cost effective
Horse
unit.
Masters going into Saurus Spears.
Here comes a banishment. Banishment.
Just in time.
Big damage on this hunter. that hunter was full health a couple seconds ago, and now he's close to dying.
I really like Gobbo Slayer's position, actually.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is a battle that's going to go on for a little while, I think. What do you think either side's win conditions are here, Satsuma?
I think for tank, it's the Marauder Hunters. They're the last thing that does loads of damage. To things like Temple Guard. I mean, obviously, Wolfric can do damage to Temple Guard when he's on his chariot, but you can't kill them all like that.
And I think Gobbo Slayer's realizing that. He's now targeting the Marauder Hunters, trying to get rid of that high DPS unit.
I like the Pterodons going down. And the Carno is getting onto Wolfric, which was pretty nice.
There was also a upgraded Final Transmutation, 28 Winds of Magic onto those Pterodons.
Was it just the Pterodons?
It hit the Carnosaur a little bit, but now Shaman Sorcerer getting eaten by the Carno, so has to get out or tank will be out of magic for the rest of the game.
He's been poisoned, so he's currently slower, but he should be able to cover for him. And actually that Carno's got to get out of there.
Might be rampaged again soon. That damage on him. Doesn't look like it though. It seems like the Lizardman army is just slowly kiting backwards, spending their ammo,
Well,
healing up and pulling ahead.
They can't kite much longer.
Nope. At this point they have to stand their ground for sure.
What we're seeing here is why hunters aren't that popular. They've been trying to shoot this feral Carnosaur, but they haven't got much range and their projectiles are really slow.
Yeah, the animations are not the best.
Oh yeah, they have to get pretty worked up to throw an axe.
And they're all getting routed. Well, one of them just rallied thanks to Fight or Die. Good, nice usage there. Pterodons used quite well throughout the entire battle so far. That was the last we'll see of them. Let's look at the solar engines. 92 kills, 101 kills. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were saying they're carries, which was just giving me flashbacks to the game I had in the faction war against.
Yeah, that was a painful game to watch. Even though it was a really good game and it was really close. I've had that so many times as greenskins against Lizardmen myself.
Yeah, it's just one thing.
I just feel like their leadership and sustain besides the battle. Boat came through. A little bit of damage.
That banishment wasn't quite as good.
No.
Feels like the tank's gonna run out of ammo.
Feels like tank is going to run out of units.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He's running out of everything.
Yeah. Just really good repositioning all around by Gobbo Slayer. Use of his resources, sacrificing the units he could sacrifice. Good target priority.
And it's the awkwardness of the hunters. Because they're always trying to run forward, but in order to hit the dinos, they have to get really close. And all that Carno has to do is just dodge back behind its lines. They're really going to get hit. And in the meantime, the skirmishers, the Pterodons can do so much damage to the hunters.
I think Tank's army can actually work. Just had to be together more. I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe like needed a bigger hitter.
Feels like it's designed against the Lizardman army that is more static.
Like a blob.
Yeah. Like if there's Zlak, for example, he'd be a great target for the hunters because he's so big that even the hunters can hit him.
It's the 1-1. Norska lost, can't complain. There's a chosen one. It's words, not mine.
Yeah, that was well played by Gobbo.
Yeah, good patient play there. Tank maybe a little aggressive at the start. Yeah, hard not to react when you're being poked by skink skirmishers and pterodons and
the
solar engines.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just down to the deployment in the end.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you screen with the marauders and you get close enough to the temple guard, for example, to use your marauder hunters, and at the same time you pressure the flanks, the ice wolves, keep the pterodons away, the horse masters. But this build definitely has potential. At some point you're going to force the lizardmans into a bit of a plop, right? And then transmutation can really pay off. The only part of the army I'm not sure about is Wulfric on his chariot. I'm not really sure. Like, he still has good at utility with the boat and Hunter of Champions, but it just seems to me like he's not a very good combatant in this scenario, even though he still got 91 kills.
What would you take, Throg or a Mammoth?
I can see the argument against taking a Mammoth.
I can also see the argument against Frog because
Yeah, potential
Well,
fire
they're-
damage.
yeah, the fire damage would be nasty.
But still... I think Trog could be pretty good. Just haven't seen him enough to really say for sure. Like, I had one battle I'll never forget where I clicked Mazdamundi on Trog and I was making something else, and I was thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't send Mazdamundi into Trog because it's an anti-infantry unit fighting an anti-large unit. And then I looked back and Trog was dead because Mazdamundi just has this huge charge bonus. And it just knocked him over and kept hitting him. He just killed him. So, that doesn't happen every battle. But, I'm paranoid about such things. Making my own armies. Yeah. Maybe not the worst idea to put him on the chariots. Gobbo Slayer picking greenskins, dwarfs, and Bretonia.
Feels pretty solid as a 3. 3 different styles.
Betting on dwarfs here, says Random Nix. Possible. Against the factions that were picked. He might choose them, but then we might have a dwarf mirror. Tank might not want that.
Probably a sensible pick though. In High Elves, doesn't feel great with Bretonia as an option.
Can't the Feral Carnosaur also just chase Trog off the map? I mean, if he's routing, technically anything can route him off the map. Pterodon could route him off the map. I don't think Trog is terrible at fighting a Carnosaur.
Yeah, they're both anti-large. At least Rog's healing is free. The thing I'd be more scared about is a full Lizardman Kite army, which is full of salamanders.
Oh my god. Skaven. Interesting.
Actually, that's not a bad pick.
Nope, I agree.
I mean, I fancy greenskins against Skaven, but people are constantly counterpicking Skaven into my greenskins.
Yeah, I think that one's actually pretty even. Maybe slight edge to greenskins, but I don't really think so.
I think only once you've figured it out.
It's build dependent. The theme of the stream. Oh, and by the way, another theme of the stream. Once again, we're going to an ace match.
Ah.
Third time in 4 matches. That.
Pretty good.
And to be honest, random Nicks versus a Stopfo also looked like it was going to go to a third game. I really thought the Empire had it after Hero Squad took so much damage.
Same here. That one last treb did so much work.
Oh yeah.
100 kills, plus all the leadership debuffs. I don't know how much friendly fire it did, but it definitely did a lot of damage.
Yeah. You might
And
get
the
the
friendly fire is
rematch.
kind of peasants, right? So
We might get the rematch between Tank Stopfo, but we might also see a match we haven't seen yet today, which is Gobbo Slayer against the Stopfo. And this game will decide it. This is the Greenskins. It's the Skaven. Now the Skaven can just camp this hole. The terrain might favor them, that's true. With some mortars. Mortars quite good.
you can't camp the map edge.
No.
So you can, I guess you can camp up that little pillar thing.
Because if you look at the map edges, right, you can say, oh, it's terrain. But even the terrain is too close to the white line. Be 160 meters away from the white line onto it. And that's the case with most maps with terrain on the edges. Terrain covers some of the map.
They do have to let the greenskins flank them around the side of the lake.
Yeah, but units are going to bunch up. Mortars will go pew pew pew.
No.
That's going to be terrible. If that's what tank goes for. As you said, Skaven can also be played as a rush faction. I believe there are some viable rush builds into greenskins, especially if the greenskins aren't expecting it.
Yeah, there definitely are. What you do, I think, is you take obviously the Plague Priest on his bell.
Snickage.
Snickage, because he has the leadership debuff and he can do a number on Grom. And obviously an assassin, because assassins are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the Snickage snare plus the assassin debuff on Grom, he does take a lot of damage. I'm just assuming Grom here because why wouldn't you take Grom? And then you can take something with Terror, either a Hell Pit or a Doom Wheel. Some Rat Ogres. Yeah, it can definitely be done. Some people take the Doom Flayers as well.
Mm-hmm. When I see Skaven rush, which happens almost never, they often do it with as many Rat Ogres as they can take, which I think is a good approach because Rat Ogres just kill stuff and route stuff really quickly. Even if you technically have the counter to them with archers, usually the archers don't get enough time to shoot. If your front line is just, your basic infantry that's supposed to just kill clan rats and be done with it.
Yep. Definitely. And then when you put the Plague Priest does an amazing job there as well because he has Pestilent Breath, which especially against the Savage Orcs is pretty unpleasant. He has that for free. And then you summon a Clan Rat and a Plague Monk behind the Greenskin line, get the rear charge penalty. And the basic infantry you can route pretty quickly. And this is why I like Wolf Rider Archers here. Because if you do end up with a rush, you can, well, not on this map, but on a lot of maps, you can kite back.
True.
And if you're against the mortars, they're pretty good at dodging mortar shots.
And pretty cheap as well, so even if they get hit, who cares?
They often get hit a little bit, but they're a unit that you can space out, so only one unit gets hit at a time.
Yeah. Players taking their time a little bit. So there's a lot on the line. Whoever loses is eliminated. Whoever wins goes on to fight Astolfo.
In the grand finale.
Of this group, yeah.
Yeah.
The grand final, I guess, will only be in 3 weeks from now. Sunday. We'll have the top 4 of the tournament. It's a long time away.
Top 8, right?
Sorry, what?
Top 8, right? It's
Well, how we're going to do it is, so we'll have 2 more weeks of group stages. Then the week after the last group stage, we'll have the first playoff phase on Saturday. And then the top 4, I believe, will play the last day of the tournament on the Sunday after it. Sure, that's how I did it.
such
Get
a
the
great
schedule.
caster. I know all the rules. I know the tournament format.
Yeah, playoffs, Final 4, Sunday, 17 October, 17 CST.
And I guess it's winners versus runners-up. In the
Yeah, if you look at the bracket, and if you're in the chat, guys, you can check out the bracket yourself. Just let the Nightbot put a link to it. Click final stage. You can see that it says first in Group A versus second in Group D. First in Group A, that was Anticity. Yeah, first in Group C against second in Group B, and so on, so it's all predetermined. It's basically set up so that people who come from the same group have the smallest chance of facing each other again. Okay, we have loaded in. Let's go. Wonder if Astolfo is watching. Might be. I would be watching, but maybe he's just playing. Staying warm.
I usually end up just having something to eat, or like a cup of tea or something.
You're eating a cup of tea, really?
One as in having something to eat or having a cup of tea.
Ah.
Just these things go on for a while. How long have we been here?
Not that long, actually. I was just thinking about it. 2.5 hours, or is it 3?
It's 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Okay.
Well, that was a bit late.
Yeah, I mean, series take a little while longer because we're getting more games, but that's a good thing. Right. I guess I have to give you the Greenskin army.
Thank you. I mean, I can do Skaven as well.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. So, this is fantastic. We've got we have a full-on Night Goblin army, which I don't think is necessary on a map this small. So we've got 3 Night Goblin archers. Where's the Rusty Arrows? It's not showing up on my one. Interesting. Then we've got 4 Night Goblins, including I assume are the 8 Goblins. Obviously, they never show because of that bug. 2 Spider Riders. 3 Flappers. Snotling Pump Wagons. Pretty rogue stuff. Double Stone Troll. Grom, of course, because what else? Giant River Troll Hag. Agree again, the best pick here. Just with Spirit Leech and is that Dread Knight? Yes, it's Dread Knight. Yeah, it's nice. None of the Greenskin Terror options, apart from Dread Knight, feel particularly pleasant in this matchup. So I like Dread Knight here. And we've got basic Goblin Wolf Rider Archer. So what worries me here is leadership. Is there anything in this army apart from that isn't a hero with more than 60 leadership? Flappers have 55, Night Goblins have 44, Trolls have 40.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, at least they have Grom to help them.
Yeah.
Skaven. I mean, I love this army.
I love it. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's definitely not what I would pick, but I love it.
Some meta
I just-
elements like Grom, Hag, Stone Trolls. For the most part, it's some uncommon choices. Skaven are setting up, as Random Nick said he would like them to, with just big blobs of obviously overpowered Skaven slave spears standing, in a bit of a. How would you describe this shape, Tatsuma?
It's like a cross between a box and a blob, I'd say. A blocks.
A blocks. A blocks. Yeah, he's in a blocks. Okay. So we saw the Iksha
It's not
Strides.
geometric enough to be called a box.
No, it's a blocks. Like it's when you want to make a box, but you're trying to conceal that it's a box. You're like, yeah, it's not a box, guys. It doesn't have the shape of a box. It's fine. The Christian Triards, they have recovered from that awful fight against the Vampire Coast. They're back. Fight again. Some Rat Ogres providing that mass, and there's Poison Wind Mortars. 2 regular ones. He actually had the Death Globe, like the Regiment of Renown mortars selected for a while, but he didn't go for them. Another big unit, the Wheels of Doom, which will be terrible for this low leadership army, and the Plague Priest with the usual summons.
As long as that Wheels of Doom doesn't accelerate straight forward, in which case it's just gonna fall into the pit.
Ghost Knight Goblins.
As he
Yeah, imagine if it just went over the edge here. Falling straight into Krell's tomb.
Is that what it is? Krell's Tomb?
Yeah, it's Krell's tomb.
Oh, nice.
Glacial Lake.
The Wheels of Doom is going on the side without Grom, which kind of makes sense. But now it's turning around again.
Red Goblins are coming in.
And there's like 5,000 gold worth, all attacking one Clan Rat summon.
Yep, the terrain definitely favoring the Skaven here in that regard. Those
How long
Wind
do
Mortars
Night
are doing
Goblin
their
Archers
thing.
take to rout against double mortar?
Apparently not very long. So he has the mobile elements. If he can get enough charges in, he might just break this. It's a small map. You can get that route going against Skaven. Lose a lot of their units. Look at the Spider Riders getting into the cookie jar.
Plague Priest is overextended. If it wasn't for that, I would say Skaven are kind of hopeless. Sorry, the greenskins are hopeless, but
Yeah, this Plague Priest took so much damage from the trolls. Oh my god. He's almost routed. He's getting shot
it has
as well.
routed. And it's routing.
Yeah, he's
Where's
routing.
it routing? Is it routing the wrong way?
And the Assault of Stone
It's
is
like
coming
that.
in. I think the greenskins are breaking this Satsuma.
Breaking the blocks.
The blocks is
Look
no
at where the
longer a
Plague
blocks.
Priest is running. It's not running back into the formation.
Nope. And the
Well,
Wolf
coming
Rider
back.
Archers are in a perfect position to keep it off the field.
Grom
As
took
we're
a lot
saying
of
that-
damage, but
Yeah, Grom is taking a lot of damage.
if he doesn't stop that Plague Priest coming back,
That would be terrible. I mean, he's low enough on hit points.
he's got a Wolf Rider Archer that can just do it.
Yeah, he has to send in the Wolf Rider Archer for sure. Oh man. Seems like the greenskins are just tearing through everything at this point. Like,
Yeah.
what is there to stop these floppers? You can't stop the flappers.
Look
at them bounce. Flapping all over the place.
More Rat Ogres. Is that Plague Priest coming back? It's
He
come
just
back.
rallied, but the Wolf Rider Archers are on him. He'll probably get
Yeah.
a summon off before he routes again.
You can get 2 summons. And Rat and a Plague Monk.
He's about
So-
to start charging, so we will get even more leadership. Imagine if the summons pulled his back, like get into the back of these units, start routing them.
Wheels of Doom are going down.
Yep, the blob is too strong, but one of the trolls routed, even with aspect of the Dread Knight on them, and Grom there to buff them. Amazing troll leadership as usual. Look at Gobbo Slayer's doing a good job
That
chasing
Plague Priest-
off the routing units.
Yeah. Snicketch can't do this on his own though.
It doesn't look like it.
And the Plague Priest routed again.
Rom fighting Snickage. Big axe to the face there. It looks like Gobbo Slayer's got this. Gobbo Slayer with the Gobbos. What a world.
Those stone trolls are routing. I think he's probably got it, but it's not quite. Look at that route.
They're gone.
Grom will come back.
Oh, Grom
So
was
will
on
the
a sliver
trolls.
of health.
But those trolls are now away from Grom, so they could just terror out.
True. If the Wheels of Doom get close enough to them. Yeah, Snickage getting caught by the Flappers, and the Flappers are just staring him a new one.
Snickage.
Oh my god. Look at them go. They're so silly. But so effective at the same time. Just flapping their wings, bouncing back and forth, crushing rats under their wheels.
It's over.
And that's it. Greenskins do it again.
Oh, I did it with that silly army.
That was amazing. Blocks was vanquished.
Because the flappers actually are... They are pretty good compared to the normal pump wagons.
Yeah.
The extra speed helps